Greetings to my nobles of the ancient Arabic order, nobles of the Mission Shrine. Or just greetings to the nobles, period. How about that? Let's have a seat and sit and talk for a minute. Oh, wait. Man, it's another awesome day today. It is my hope and my prayer that for those of you who are going through whatever you're going through in this life, that, storms don't last always. So it is my hope and my prayer that you will be able to come out of the other side of that storm better, definitely better. So assalamu alaikum to my nobles. And it is my hope that today's topic, this conversation right here, will get you to see the Shriners from a different point of view, a different perspective. I know that many of you who are of the Christian faith that are Masons, and I'm going to talk to their daughters too, daughters of Isis, daughters of Sphinx, the daughters, and I know that many of you are Christian ladies, and you are part of the daughters of Isis, and daughters of Sphinx. And to my nobles, those of you who are part of the ancient Egyptian order, nobles of the Mystic Shrine. I may have mispronounced it, but for you too. This is for you too. And for those of you who know nothing about the Shriners, this should help in some type of way to be informative. So, but for those of us who are nobles, greetings. So nobles, I don't know what you've heard. I don't know what you see as a noble, but I'm going to tell you this. To be a noble doesn't mean that you have to be drinking and drunk all the time. Doesn't mean that you have to be wilding out at the parties, all of that. Now, cool, I camel walk. I like that. I camel walk. And I do have a little camel milk per se every now and then. But in addition to that, on top of that, I'm not going to put the nobles in a bad light, meaning I'm not going to be wilding out at the parties and talking about some things I shouldn't be talking about and screaming things I shouldn't be really screaming. You know how we get down. You know what I mean. There's no need of me trying to sugarcoat. There you go.
Where you been?
I've been working, girl.
Okay.
Where you been?
Working.
Oh, let you tell it.
I'm trying.
All right then. But so when I think of the nobles, it is something of a noble birth. You know what I mean? It's a noble birth. It's something that we should consider in being brought to the higher standards. To be a noble is to be of higher standards. To be a Shriner, meaning that you are part of a mystic order. Now go look up these words. Look up the word noble and look up the word mystic. Okay? Do that for yourself so you can have a better understanding of what you are part of, because you are created a noble. You are of noble birth. That is to say, someone along the line or along the process of you being accepted into the nobility understood that you was a person about yourself. There was something about you as a noble, and they said as a person who became a noble, and they said, look, you can add value to what we're trying to do. Meaning that even if you are a Christian, you can be a noble. If you are a part of Islam, you can be a noble, because when you get there, you're going to see something different. And when I say something different, that means that you're going to have an understanding of the nobility of the person, the character of the person, and why he chose to be of the nobility, why he was chosen, just like a sister who was chosen to be part of Isis and part of the daughters of Sphinx. There's a nobility for that. It's something noble about this woman, the way she carries herself and how she's able to gracefully enter a room and, without all of the twerking and all of that. It's something about her nobility about herself, that she's able to draw a better picture of how a woman of such character should be handling herself. That's why she's a daughter of Isis. Go look up and see who Isis is or was. Go look up and see what it is to be part of the daughters of Sphinx and what it should be. When you saw nobility and mystic, something is supposed to be different about you when you arrived at the shrine. When you have arrived at the shrine, it's something different. And I know I hear brothers all the time, you know, I love my potentate. I eat my potentate shit. I hear it all the time. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna tell you, in the beginning, my shriners, man, yeah, I was down for the count. But as I grew, as I began to look into nobility, what it is to be a noble, what it is to have this title of nobility bestowed upon you by those who came this way. And when I began to look at Islam and Christianity for what it is and how you're supposed to be able to protect and to be, my process began to change. You know, do I camel walk? Yeah, I get in that thing. But you ain't gonna find me camel walking in such a fashion till it's very distasteful or disgraceful. You're not gonna find me at the well of Zimzam toiling around saying certain things that are very disrespectful toward the process of being created a noble. You're not gonna find that, you know. So there's a distinct mystic thing that is happening with us. Greetings, everyone. So today, our conversation is regarding the shrine and the nobility and the daughters of Isis and the daughters of Sphinx. You know, so we're talking about the nobility as a whole. And I'm finding that some of these places I've gone and the way you treat your nobles and the way the process is, man, I don't know if I would have made it through. I'm going to be honest with you. The way that some of you have treated your noblemen or your nobilities, I don't know if I would have made it through. And some of you say, yeah, you wouldn't have made it through. Well, you know what? So be it. I mean, because to be a noble person or to be created a noble, you don't have to get abused, and you don't have to get, literally abused in any of the fashions of Freemasonry. It doesn't cause for that. You know, it doesn't make you a better person. It just make you angry because I want to fight you after I'm done. I want to kick you when I'm finished. You know, that's what it does. It doesn't make me want to appreciate you anymore. It makes me look at you on the side eye and want to really fight you. Now, granted, you know, when going through the nobility, there's going to be some things you're going to go through. I get that. But the abuse that I've seen, I'm like, no, that's not part of the ritualistic journey of a nobleman. That is not nowhere in it. And if it's in yours, nah. And I have a couple of nobility rituals. I have a couple of Shriners rituals. And some of the stuff I've seen, I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I've seen, but I would participate. I've left some shrine creations and said, no, I'm not going to deal with that. No, you're not. It's so freaking disrespectful and distasteful for the individual. And then it goes against everything you're trying to do to help create that person as a noble. It goes against it all. You know, nah. It's just some things it just ain't even worth it. So many people think just because something bad was done to them that it makes it right. No, it doesn't make it right at all. Somebody making you do certain things that goes against your morals and your values don't make it right. I don't care what initiation it is. You know, you need to do this, man. You know what? You can keep that. And I think too many times we'll become relaxed to it. This is just the process. No, the process is to help you become a person of nobility, a person of mystic rites and ceremonies. These rites and ceremonies that I see today, man, no. And what I try to do on my national level and on my Grand Lodge level, what I try to do is bring some respect to the process. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I want it to be in such a fashion to get you to think about what you're about to go through. I want you to understand the psychological and spiritual effect of becoming a noble, of becoming a mason, of becoming 32nd, whatever that is that you are interested in. You have the privilege of being invited into these degrees. I want you to think about it. I don't want you coming through and say, man, all they did was beat my ass and kick on me and cause me pain and hurt. I'm not here to cause you pain and hurt. I'm here to help you to renew your mind. I'm here to help you to rethink and reshape and to see things from a different point of view and perspective other than that what has been presented to us or presented to you. You know, forget that mess. No, man, not from the things I've seen. You know, not from the things I've seen people have to go through to be accepted. I would know. Nah, I get it. Yeah, I rode Clyde. Yeah, that's the process. I get that. You know, the Black Rock, I get it. The tunnel, I get it. Just to name a few things, the hot sands, I got it. But you know that extra stuff you people do? You know that extra stuff, right? How you make people dress up? You know that extra stuff that's nowhere in it. You know that stuff. Nah. He said, in the spirit of justice, the Sigma emphasis. You don't haze. You shouldn't. Now look, when I think of hazing, I'm talking about physically breaking down someone. Physically.
But you're still reading.
Okay? Yeah. Spiritually, we do things. Spiritually, we're going to test you. Spiritually and mentally, we're going to go at you here. I mean, that's what we do here. Because we want you to be able to think, freely think, logically think, to implement your thoughts into a process to achieve a goal. You know, I get there may be some physical aspects on that, but it's not going to be to the fact that you be like, man, I can't sit down. Man, my back hurt. Man, my arm, I got to go. None of that. No. Not today. How you doing there? You all right?
Yeah.
All right. That's right. You in ER, right?
Yes. Well, no, ultrasound.
Ultrasound. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So that whole thing right there is interesting. It's interesting. So that's my hope. They haze in Columbus, Ohio. Well, I'm just saying that is not something that I think belongs in the organization. I don't believe it does. I'm not saying that I didn't experience it. I'm not saying that I didn't go through it and give it. I'm just saying as I've gotten older and become wiser and I'm beginning to see things from other perspectives. No, I've had brothers come through and I'm like, no, I want you to have an experience. I do. But I want you to have an experience in such a way till it's going to be memorable and dignified. That's what I want for you. That's the experience I want for you. I want that experience to be like, man, that right there was good. All right. All right. What's up, Zan? That's what I want for you. I want that experience for you to be in such a fashion that it sticks right here. You be like, man, I ain't gonna ever forget that. Not just gonna forget the beating that you received, but the mental and the spiritual awakening that I want you to have. I want you to understand why you walked the deserts. I want you to understand why you went on for the Black Rock. I want you to understand why you had to ride Clyde and stop by the Devil's Path. And I want you to understand why you came across that prairie dog and why you did these certain things that you've done. That's what I want for you. If you come this way, I want that for you. But it seems to me that, man, some of the things I've personally seen, I'm like, no, excuse me, let me step out for a minute. And when you're done, I'll come back in and I will congratulate everybody. But other than that, no, no, I'm not going to do that. Greetings, Quiet Storm. How's everything going? Yeah, for sure. I can't do that. I don't know why so many people are so hyped on doing those things to individuals along the way. It was done to me, but you need to change that. You need to be able to say, look, but doesn't make it right. Because it was done to me doesn't make it right. No, let me change something. Gentlemen, nobles, I believe that we should enhance our organization by treating individuals who are coming through with dignity and respect and show them that this is an honorable society. It's honorable. I can't call it. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, for sure. So that's the thing we have to start taking pictures of. And I know that Shriners are not recognized outside of the United States. I know down in Mexico, there are shrine temples down in Mexico. The ancient Arabic order Nobles of the Mr. Shrine has a temple down there, and so does International Shrine have a temple there. I think it's called International. Anyway, mainstream has a temple down in Mexico. So if anybody's interested and you want to know more in regards to setting up a temple or maybe having your own temple, or no matter where you at, reach out to me. I can get my imperial potentate, and you can contact him and go from there. You know, because to be a shriner is very honorable and it's very noble, and that's what it means. Very mystic, meaning that that it's going to give you understanding of Islam and Christianity and how both of them need each other. Both of them meet at the well of Zamzam. Christianity and Islam meet at the well of Zamzam. That's where they meet at. They really do. When Sarah was told to go out into the desert and take her child with her, and was only given a few rations, and there she found herself in the desert, and there Allah brought up a spring out of the desert, and there arose a palm tree. You know about that palm tree, right? There arose a palm tree to give her shade for her child. And there they was able to receive the nourishments as they traveled, you know? So those things count when you understand them. And if we don't give ourselves an opportunity to understand Shriners and the nobility for which it is part of, then we're doing ourselves a misjustice. You're really doing yourself man, it is just crazy how you see some of the things that happens at some of these Shriners conventions. Nah. And I'm telling you, in my early day, oh man, I was all up in it. I cannot lie. I was all up in it. Yeah, get on up on Clyde. Yeah, tell Clyde to do his thing. You know what we tell Clyde to do. You know, until you're able to dismount. Yeah, you tell Clyde to do his thing, and Clyde gonna do it. And when you're done, you ain't gonna be able to walk. You ain't gonna be able to walk. It's true. You ain't gonna be able to walk once you get off Clyde. And I get that part. But in some instances, I've seen it to where I just shake my head and have to leave. Look, man, this is your shrine temple. You do your thing, but I cannot participate in this. And I'm not saying that I'm so high and mighty. I'm just saying that as I've gotten older, as I have a better understanding, as I've looked into Islam, okay, as I participated in Islam, all right, my thought process has changed. So I cannot participate in some of the Shriner creations. I can't do it. Because some of the things that you do to those who desire to be nobles aren't in your rituals, and it's not part of what I would consider the ritualistic ceremonies of showing respect to the nobility. It's not. I'm not saying it's an easy road to travel coming across the sands. I didn't say that. I didn't say anything that's going to get you to think. I'm just saying, and the hazing and the physicalness that I see when nobles are individuals who are professing to be nobles wants to go that journey, man. Nah, that'll make somebody come out swinging, real swinging. What we discuss here. Oh, we're discussing the nobles of the mystic shrine. We're discussing uh, the the physicalness that some go through and the disrespect to Islam that is given when one is becoming a noble, you know, because you take those. I don't know how many of you are nobles on here, but if you are, go back and read uh, your nobility when you are taking those noble obligations per se. Look and see what it says to you, to my Christian brothers, that I would protect my Christian brothers, my Christian sisters, that I would, as we walk this life together, my job as a nobleman is to protect you. In the same vice versa, because as a Knights Templar, you're sworn to protect those on the road to Jerusalem, to Mecca. You're sworn to do that. But what we do outside of that is we totally take it and just slaughter it, man. We make it look like more pledging anything. We do the same thing in masonry. We make it look like they're pledging, and this is not a pledging process. This is a rites of passage and initiation process. That's what it is. Yeah. Jesus is coming back. You know? Yeah. So when we begin to do that and understand that, man, it is so much enlikened to the example of how you should live your life. If you are a Christian, you should live your life as Christ led his life. If you are of Islam faith, you should live your life as Muhammad lived his life. And Muhammad and Christ is the forebearers, from what I've read and I understand from the Quran and from the Bible, of how you should live your life. Now, you can agree to disagree on many of the things that you may find in the Bible. I'm not mad at the messengers because I get the message. But in the process, we should have a better understanding of why we go through these rites and ceremonies. How you doing there, lovely lady?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing better now that I see you.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's right, because when I get where you at right now in life, I want to be able to move like you move.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That's all that's required, huh?
That's all that's required. Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a blessed day.
You too, and thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You know, so that's where I'm at. Jesus is coming back. Jesus died for your sins. Be washed by his blood. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. And I'm going to touch on that too, just for a moment. If you're new to the channel, please hit the up button. Please hit the like button. But I'm going to share this with you real quick. For those of you who are on here, you're Christians. And I told you, I go to church too. But I realized that even in going to church, and the process to become a Christian is a ritualistic process. And I'm going to tell you that again. In order for you to become a Christian, there is a ritualistic process. Now, you can say what you want to say, but you need to look at this for what it is. Now, if you're in the West, and you're talking about joining church, you're going to get baptized. That's a ritual. On the first Sunday, you're going to drink the blood and eat the body of Christ. That's a ritual. You're going to take the right hand of fellowship. If you've already gone through that process and changed church or changed denominations, that's a ritual. That's a rites of passage. So any of these ceremonies that you may bring up, and as you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior for most of you, that's a ritualistic process. It's true. If you know anything about occults, it's a process. It's a ritualistic process. The same thing you will go through on your pilgrimage. Same thing. But we have to be able to take that and monitor that and be able to live our life through the process for which we are called to do it. And a lot of us don't want to do it. A lot of us love the process of being a noble. You know it. but you don't want to look at it from a respectful point of view. You want to drink it up. It's called the playhouse. The Shriners has never been the playhouse of anything. We just call it that without knowing and out of our ignorance. That's what we call it. But as we grow, as we begin to digest and look at things, we should refrain from that. We should refrain from it. You know, if you are a noble person or a nobleman, doesn't matter your temple, you should refrain from that, because now you're a man of noble birth. You are a daughter of Isis. Go look up nice Isis. I'm gonna tell you that again. Go look up Isis. Hello, how you doing, Black Soul Entertainment? It's good to see you. Go look it up. And when you look these things up, your process should change. You should begin to see that like, oh, that's why we do this, or that's why we do that. But when you don't do these things and you call yourself a nobleman, you have totally missed out on it. You have totally disregarded and disrespected the process of being part of the ancient Arabic nobles, or the Mr. Shrine, or the ancient Egypt, or the noble. You've totally just bastardized it. That's what you've done. And I believe that when you grow and begin to practice the thing that you are in, your thought process change. When you begin to practice being a Shriner, not just because you was made a Shriner, but practice being a Shriner, the process is going to change. When you practice being a Knights of Templar, or when you practice being a Royal, your process is going to change. It's going to change. And I can see that even in myself, that my process has totally changed from 5 years ago, 3 years ago. The more books I get, the more things I read, my process changes, because it adds value in the knowledge that I already have. That's all it does. It adds value to that knowledge. It makes the knowledge that you have is like, oh, okay, I get it now. Boom, boom, boom. Just like watching John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you are a Mason in any degree, if you are a Shriner, if you are 33rd, when you watch John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4, you should get a picture of the process for which he had to go to in order to become part of the Supreme Council. I'm just saying. But what we do here, we love our potentate. We want to eat our potentate shit. And that's not being a person of nobility. I understand it because I've been there, but as I've grown, my thoughts have changed, and I really consider it being something noble. Because I was told when I became a Shriner, you were created of noble birth. So if I was created of noble birth, then what does that look like? What does nobility look like? So when I started going back, looking at the etymology of the word nobility and what it means and how I should carry myself, man, I'm like, bam, a light came on. I'm like, I got it. Oh, snaps. I'm just not anybody. I am a Shriner, a man of nobility, of high character. I shouldn't be like, at every party turning up. You can have a little something respectfully and do your thing respectfully and jump on the train to camel walk respectfully. Yeah, I get it. I get that part. But the addition of stuff that I've seen, nah, I don't get that part. I don't get that. I don't get that. Brother DJ Craig, what's going on with you, brother, out of Appalachia? I said it right, didn't I? Greetings to you. Glad to have you in today. Let me see. Donald Perks told us in 2011 that we can't be a noble man and nasty at the same time. You can't. I'm a nasty noble. What's that? I be looking, I'm like, now, like I said before, I'm not the one to say that I didn't participate in my early days. but nobody really taught me. So I did these things unknowingly. But when I found out to say, hey, oh, wait a minute. You should. Oh, let me pull back a little bit. Let me take that back a little bit. So no, I'm not a nasty noble. No, I know how to clean and wash myself. You'll find that out on the way home. No, I'm not. Too many times, most of us call ourselves that without knowing the etymology of why you will even call yourself a nasty noble. I get it, but no, you shouldn't. No, you're a part of the nobility. Go look the word up, nobility. Go look up Isis. Go look up mystic. Daughters of the Sphinx. The Sphinx is a place of hidden knowledge for the learned man. Isis is a goddess or a god. Go look up these things and see exactly what you're a part of and why are you even a part of it. Because of the ritualistic ceremonies that we go through is supposed to be a process of growth. I'm gonna say this again. The ritualistic process that we go through should be a process of growth. Please hit the thumbs up button. But when you don't understand a thing, but you are a part of a thing, you're ignorant inside of that thing. I'm gonna say this again. Now, you'll catch that on the way home. I'm gonna let you catch that on the way home. But look, it's been great, man. To the daughters of Sphinx, to the daughters of Isis, to the nobles, I appreciate you. I believe that those of us who are nobles should definitely consider and understanding the process of being a nobleman and the nobility that comes along with it, and how you truly are supposed to carry yourself. Yes, I have stopped by the well of Zim. Yes, I have drank camel milk. Yes, I tied my Clyde to a date tree. Yes, I've done those things, but now that I understand why I did them, it adds value to become a nobleman. But some of you have added some stuff in there that's not and has nothing to do with nobility at all. So until next time, peace and be well. I hope that this conversation finds you well, and to all that are here today. Assalamu alaikum. And I hope that in the process of growing and becoming a better noble, a better daughter, that you would see this and add value to it. So when the next group comes along, when the next noble come along, you will be able to break this down to them in such a way that it will be an honor to be amongst the nobility. So until next time, whatever you do, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. I'm not here. Nah, forget about it. Enjoy the journey, everybody. Enjoy the journey. Peace and be well. I'm out.